Mr. Cogburn, in your 4 years as U.S. Marshal, how many men have you shot?
Shot or killed?
Let us restrict it to killed so that we may have a manageable figure.
I love that Rooster essentially has to be talked into this mission, and ultimately in the end he's glad that he's talked into it, even though he didn't really want to do it. What is a film that you've done that you've really kind of had to be talked into, you didn't really want to do it?
You know, as you were describing Rooster, it sounded like me making movies. I always got to kind of be dragged to the party for some reason.
All of them?
Most of them, yeah.
Really?
Just about all of them, yeah.
Well, was there one that was in particular you just absolutely didn't want to do, and then afterwards you said, my God, how could I have not wanted to do this?
Yeah, there was one that I ended up really enjoying, and not too many people saw it. I think it was originally called The Moguls, and then it was called The Amateurs.
Oh, of course, absolutely.
You saw
yeah,
The Amateurs?
Yes,
oh, yeah.
Yes.
And I thought, and then they started to come together, and we all had such a great time. I thought it was pretty fun.
Mr. Cogburn?
What do you want, girl?
I'm looking for the man who killed my father. The man's name is Tom Chaney, and I need somebody to go after him.
What's your name?
My name is Mattie Ross.
So I do know that your birthday is tomorrow. Yeah. And I cannot sit across from you without giving you a birthday present.
No.
So I brought you something. It's just
my
something
goodness.
from Texas. And I know things didn't work out too well for your horse in the movie, so I brought you the official birthday True Grit horse.
Thank
so
you.
happy birthday to you.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And I've never given anyone a birthday present ever in the history of me doing interviews.
Thank you so much.
That is all you.
Thank
so I hope you
you.
have an awesome birthday.
Thank you so much.
So leading that into my question, I was just gonna ask, how do you balance having a birthday tomorrow and then doing all this? I mean, do you kind of have to divvy things up?
Well, honestly, I mean, I guess a birthday is just kind of about, celebrating and having fun, really, with what I'm doing. I'm having fun. I'm celebrating, the success of this movie and everything. And, it's really, kind of all meshed in and together. The holidays, the movie, my birthday, it's kind of all one thing.
Do you have any plans for tomorrow that don't involve True Grit?
Kind of. Well, I'm going to New York.
Okay.
I have the day off tomorrow in New York, so that's kind
Go
of...
do something for your birthday.
Yes,
please.
I will.
Okay, because if you don't, I'm going to be very mad the next time I talk to you.
I will, I promise.
Okay.
Are you some kind of law?
I'm a Texas Ranger.
But what is a film of yours that you do not want to see remade? You don't want anyone to touch it, you don't want anyone to mess with it, that is your role.
Gee, I'm not that, what's the word I'm looking for? Protective or,
Surely you
Let
can't
it
see
go.
anyone else ever playing the dude.
If somebody wants to go for it,
Jeff, say it
go
ain't
for
so,
man.
man.
No, man.
No, no
for-
one can
huh?
ever play the dude.
Well, then you can stop, man.
I
Won't be
swear on
mad.
my life I will stop them. I will fight them if they ever try to do it,
Yeah,
man.
well, the dude abides, man. He's always there, so they can do whatever they want. But
The fact that you just sat across from me and told me that the dude abides makes my life so worth it. You have no idea.
I know Chaney. It is at least a two-man job taking him alive.
You look great, by the way.
Why, thank you, sir. I
do.
appreciate
You
it.
look nice.
But I do have a bit of a confession to make.
Yes, sir.
I did buy you as a villain in this film because the last time you and I talked, you were a bit of a villain to me.
Really?
Really.
Why? What happened?
We talked for Wall Street, and I gave you $1 asking for financial advice, and you said, well, whenever I see you in Toronto, for you'll meet a tall, dark stranger, I will buy
remember
you
this.
a Canadian beer. And so I get to the junk, and I'm very excited to see you, and they come up to me and they said, Mr. Brolin's not going to make it. And I said, no.
Oh,
He
yeah.
owes me a beer.
Oh.
So you stole $1 from me.
Why didn't I make it? Was that morning? Probably. Probably. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
either you owe me $1 or a beer, man.
No, I get a beer. I'll give you $1 and a beer. No, because I screwed you over, so I owe you both.
Let's break open the...
I promise you. And no, there's no beer here. There might be in there. No, but we can't do that. You and I will do that privately.
We're professionals.
I'll get you smashed, pal.
Marshal Cogburn? Can we depart this afternoon?
we.
I'm going with you.
Watching the movie, I had this expectation for how Tom was going to be, like this incredible monster and you get there, and he's not necessarily the monster that you expect whenever you turn around at
You're
the river.
still a monster of sorts.
Absolutely. As an actor, do you ever have to kind of check expectations? Are you ever afraid that, like, you know, when the fans, whenever they meet you, that you're not going to live up to expectations?
No, I like expectations.
Really?
I do. And I say that honestly. I like expectations. Like, I like the, and you pointed something, and nobody said that, by the way, and that was kind of what intrigued me about this, is you read it and you go, oh, I picture this guy. When I meet him, he's built up so much that I don't even know if I can create something that can match that expectation that's built, that's constructed. So why don't we do something, why don't we go the opposite way?
Right.
And why don't we make him kind of bizarrely conversational to the point where it's eerie and then it's kind of creepy. And, you know, and then you see the guy later, then you see the sociopath come out once he's sitting at the campfire with Hailee, and then you start to see that Coens do a great low shot when he just can't deal anymore, and the guy looks up. The guy looks up, and it's a great shot, and it's a great reveal, a transitional reveal. So thank you for pointing that out, because that's a real compliment. It's a compliment to the Coens. It's a compliment to me.
Congratulations, you graduated from Marauder to wet nurse.
He's being followed.
What do we do, Marshal?
You missed your shot, Cogburn.
Just let this go.
I thought you were going to say the sun was in your eyes. That is to say, your eye.
How do you think the concept of the movie star, or the movie star in general, has changed since John Wayne played this role back to now when you were playing this role?
Wow, I don't know. That's a I never thought about that. That would take some thinking. I don't know. I guess one of the things, I don't know if it's a matter of the time, but there's the developing of a persona, and then there's the idea of the term character actor is almost a redundancy, because that's what acting is really all about, playing different characters, So there's some guys, I think, that my father is one. He developed a very strong persona with a TV series back in the 60s called Sea Hunt. And that was very frustrating for him, because he was a very versatile actor. Later on, people thought he was a comic because he did a couple of those airplane movies and all those things.
You got a lot of experience with bounty hunters, do you?
That is a silly question. I am 14.
You can run on for a long time.
Time for you to go home.
I don't like you. I will not go back, not without Cheney, dead or alive.
Sooner or later, gotta cut you down.
Cheney's here! Help me, Marshal!
But I do have to admit, man, you rocked the wool chaps.
Yeah.
What is the secret to rocking the wool? Because after seeing this, I was like, I've got to go get a pair. I want to get my own pair of wool chaps.
Well, the trick was to make them as lived in and well worn and as possible, because these guys, they sort of lived on their horse and slept on the ground, and we sort of wanted them to look as real and as authentic as possible. And so Mary Zofries, the costume designer, built those from scratch, and they're just beautiful. I actually own them.
Do you really?
Yeah, I couldn't leave without them. They're too beautiful.
Have you put them back on since you heard it cut for the last time?
And only them.
Next time you see me, I'm going to walk in.
With assless chaps.
Now what, Cogburn?
Them boys don't think about the wrath that's about to set down on it. Cheney and his gang are a rough lot.
I do not regret shooting your father.
A lot of people consider the Oscar that was given John Wayne to be kind of a sentimental Oscar, kind of like wrapping up his career. And even he said that ultimately that he was surprised that he won an Oscar for this role. So I kind of was wondering, do actors really care which movie they win the Oscar for, or do you just want to win?
It's a great thing to be recognized by the guys who do what you do. It's to get an attaboy from those guys. That means so much, and I don't know. I can talk about myself personal on the Oscar that I won for Crazy Heart, and it was
very much deserved.
It was particularly, thank you. It was particularly gratifying for that movie because I had such a great time on it. It was all about music, right. So that really felt terrific for me.
Is there anything that you wish that you thought like that I should have gotten more for that? Like I deserved more for that.
I don't think of it in those terms.
I think of it in those terms.
You do. Well, come on, give me
the
something.
The Big Lebowski, man. There's so many movies. I have so many movies, but Big Lebowski will always be close to my heart.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you love that one. I love that one too.
I will kill this girl!
biggest mistake you ever made.
Tell them that God's gonna cut you down.
Help me!
I can do nothing for you, son.